Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'm going to show you how I made this New Year's card for 2021. I was requested by a customer of mine called Linda asking if I could give her some ideas for a New Year card. I'm always happy to accept a challenge. It wasn't until I carried on reading her email that I saw a bit further down. The real challenge was that she wanted it as a note card rather than one of our A6 cards. But I never ran away from a challenge and I took it on board, and I have to say I have had great fun with it. I don't think I have ever made New Year's cards before, but I'm now surrounded by them. So many thanks for the challenge, Linda, and I really hope that you like this. I do have a second design for you as well. So I'm going to, first of all, let me explain to you about how I came to this. This was my first card that I made because I thought whatever I do here, as long as it fits onto a note card, I'll be able to just transfer it over. But what I didn't like about this was the fact that I did 2021 across there. So when I moved on to this one, oh no, this was my next one, wasn't it? I did the 2021. I've also done that as solid numbers, which I'll show you, but I preferred it to go like this. And as you can see, I did not fill in the stars on this one. This one, my second one, I did, and then I upped it, but without the background. So that's the same card, but with the bigger base, which I thought that worked really well. Really happy with that. And I don't know if, yes, I did do it in there. I did extra stars so that I could decorate the inside. So this is what I'm going to show you now. And then I'm going to do it, the larger one, with a different kind of background to what I've done there. And then if I've got time, I've got another card that I want to show you. So let's start off with this one and the card pieces that you're going to need. Now the note card is a Stampin' Up card. It measures 3.5 inches by 5 inches. And they come in a pack of 20 with 20 matching envelopes. And the envelopes are the same good quality as our regular sizes. Okay. So you need one of these. What I was going to say is I'll put the metric measurements in the box below the video. So the top layer that I've used and I've die cut it with this, which, let me just show you the dies that I'm going to be using. Right, this one comes from Nature's Thoughts. That's this one here, and I've used it because it's got such a nice design on it. You see that? It's really pretty, I like that. If you don't have the die, you need this to measure 2 7/8 by 4 3/8 inches. If I move that there, because I've already done that bit of die cutting. Then you need a basic black layer. This measures 3 inches by 4.5 inches. Then a brushed, that's a bit mucky, brushed metallic sheet that is 3 1/8 inches by 4 5/8 inches. You need a piece for this die, which is from the Stitched Stars dies. Okay, oh, you can't really see that. And that measures about 2 inches by 4 inches. And then you need a scrap for the numbers, and the numbers are from Playful Alphabet, which is all the alphabet. Some of them have got doubles as well, which is really very, very helpful. I do wish it had 2 2s as well for 2021. Obviously going to be worse next year for 2022 when we need 3 2s, but hey, there we go. Right, so that was all of those pieces. The cardstock I'm using here is the brushed metallic, and this one is gold. There are 3 colours. This is what I call the light one, and I'm not sure whether it's meant to be brass or copper. The third colour is a lot darker, which I assume is the copper, but I just refer them as light, dark and gold. So let's do our die cutting first, and I'm very pleased to be able to use my cut and emboss machine today, and the reason I'm using this is because I don't need to use my magnetic plate. So on here I'm using plates 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Now I know I've cut this piece of paper a bit on the short side, but if I turn it so that that big curl there goes off slightly to that side, then I know this will fit in. I do try and be economical with my paper. It could be described as tight even, but I think I may actually be too tight on this one. Let's see how we get on. And then the numbers. And on this, with the numbers, I do recommend that, I've only just found this out, but I do recommend that you try and keep the lines, the brush lines on your cardstock going in the same direction for your numbers. If I remember, I'll try and show you why I say that. Right, fingers crossed now. So I'm not letting this go. It's a bit tough on one hand. There we go, that should be fine. Oops, sorry, I just knocked the tripod leg. Now I'm going to bring this back. It doesn't need it for the numbers, but I do find it's helpful for the scrolly bit. In fact, okay, so that's that bit. Ooh, lucky, look at that. Okay, so I'll do that one in a moment. I've got my numbers. Oh, that moved. Doesn't matter because I've got all my numbers over there anyway. I'll pop that there. That one there. Number 2. As I say, I've already got the numbers over there, so I don't need to run the 2 through again now. So let's put those on there. No more die cutting. If I get through to making the other card, then I will need to use the cut and emboss for my embossing. Okay, so there's that. Now this can be a little bit fiddly, but trust me, it's worth it. I did try doing this using our adhesive sheets, so that by the time it was all pulled out, got rid of all the little bits and pieces, it would be so easy to stick it down rather than trying to put the glue on it. But I got myself in such a mess with it, I thought I'm not going to try that again. Right, that's all the stars. But I will explain to you I will explain to you why I do my gluing of things like this the way that I do. So I'll show you. The main thing is you don't want to get any glue on the front of the foil because it makes it go all, well, shall we say gunky looking. It also removes the shine as well. Not that this one is as shiny as straightforward foil, which is a big help for me because I do find that the regular foil, where the lights shine onto it, it gives me migraines. I suffer with aura migraines, which are caused by any kind of flashing light. But I'm lucky in as much as they only last about half an hour. My vision goes very funny. I can't see, and I just rest for half an hour and it all comes back again. Very rarely do I get a headache with it either, so I do count my blessings for that. When I was younger it used to knock me out for a day or two. Right, so what I'm going to do is take this one first, my silicone mat, my Tombow. Now the secret of doing this, for me, obviously it depends on how you work, you may have another method that would help me out. If you do, please share. But the secret is not allowing this to move. So what I do is I just make sure I've got it down firmly, and then just squeeze little bits out. I don't try and put glue onto every bit. Okay, so when I feel that I've done all the bits that are exposed, then I'll move my hand down to hold it tight again so that I can put my glue on without my image moving, without my die cut moving. Okay, you can see it moving a tad there. Another one of those things when I tend to hold my breath while I'm doing it. Just that last little bit. Now some of those did come out a little bit on the fast side, so I'm going to blot this on a piece of scrap paper. So if I've got some tweezers somewhere, so I can pick this up on a non-glued bit. Again, don't let it move. There we go. Bring this back. Now the big end, which is the one with that big swirl, comes down into this corner. I don't let it go over the fancy little mark, but I bring this over here, and I should have done my stamping first, but never mind. There we go. So that's good. And I have even forgotten to bring over my Stamperator, so bear with me. Now I only had one Happy New Year stamp, and it was in the retired Teeny Weeny Wishes or something, teeny whatever. And so what I did was, and it was on a wood block set, so I took it off, put some foam on it, put a bit of cling on it. I left it on the side because where I glued it, it needed time to dry, and it disappeared. Couldn't find it anywhere. And then this morning I thought, I know what's happened to that. Yesterday at some stage, we've got the builder in the garden at the moment, and he's doing our patio, and hubby was talking to him, and long story short, I got together a copy of the catalogue, and both catalogues, 3 catalogues actually, and the opportunity leaflet as well. Put them all in an envelope, and of course I was working on the side where I'd put the stamp to dry. In fact, I want that to go up a bit, don't I? And it got stuck to the envelope, so hubby went down today and retrieved it for me. It needs to go over a bit. I don't know why I've got it set up in such a peculiar position and not just straight in the corner here. There must have been a good reason for it at the time. Anyway, to get on about the stamp that I'm using, it's actually from Itty Bitty Birthday, and it's this one here. I've cut that bit off, so I've got Let's Celebrate 2021. And when you do that, if you just do a straight cut, if you ever want to go back to using that as a one stamp, if As long as that is straight, you can just fit it back on there, so you can have Let's Celebrate You again. Okay. But as always, I will warn you that if you do cut your stamps, it will make the guarantee that you have with Stampin' Up! Null and void, because you have actually deliberately damaged your stamp set. I have done it quite often and never ever regretted it. I always feel that once you've used a stamp set from Stampin' Up!, if it's okay, it's not going to go wrong. Now, I'm not used to doing this sideways. Let me see if I can turn it round. Okay, I do recommend that you do this before you put your die cut on there, because if I make a mess of this, then I'm going to have to stop and restart. There we go. Lucky. Right, now let's move that out of the way, we won't be needing that again. You can have that, don't want that. Now, what I do with the letters, this is one of the things I wanted to explain to you. What I do is I use thick Whisper White cardstock, and I cut 5 of them, and then I glue them all together. There are 4 ways I can think of that you can do these dates. This is my favourite way. It does take extra time to do it, but I always feel that this is my hobby, and therefore I'm not in a rush to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all 5 like that, and I'm going to put glue on 4 of them. Now with most of the numbers, this is quite easy to do. The only one that's a bit of a fiddle is the 0, because it isn't symmetrical. There is a right and wrong way to put them, and no matter how careful I am, I always seem to get it wrong. Right, so I've put glue on 4 of these, so I'm going to take the dry one, non-glued, and put that on that one, put that one on that one, that one on that one, that one and that one, and then just squeeze them all together. It's so nice and easy. Okay, but with the zeros, oops, with the zeros, because there is a right and wrong way, you need to check them first. Okay, so that's 2. I have already put these in the right way, I think, but obviously they could have moved since I did that, or maybe they haven't. So again, I'm going to do these 4 times, leave 1 dry one, another way you can do these are you can either just use them as a single die cut, of course, which is what I did on my first one. So that's 2. Another way is you could cut bits of dimensionals and pop them up on dimensionals. Or the other way is to use our adhesive sheets, and I will just show you that and what you need to do with it as well. But before we get that far, I'm going to just finish these off. And these are my brass, no they're not, they're my gold die cuts. Now I'm going to put the glue on the numbers, the white numbers. Doesn't really matter which one you do it on. Now I'm going to put the gold one on first, the 0 on first, because I didn't check which way up it's got to go, and I want to make sure I've got enough time to pull it off again, just in case. That's lucky, isn't it? You get a 50-50 chance of getting that right. In fact, no, that's not right. That's better. There's that one. That one. That one. Okay, beauty with Tombow is it does give you a little bit of wiggle room there. That one. And then the number 1. Okay. Right, let me just show you the 4th method, which is using our adhesive sheets. Okay, I've got a little bit here. I'm only going to do one number so that you can see. In fact, I'm going to use a 0. And what I do is I just use my scissors and cut a piece. It's about the size I need. Don't like to waste. There we go. You could put your gold on top of the top layer if you wanted. I've not tried it that way. Okay, so this is double-sided. It's just like your dimensional, but it comes as a complete sheet. And did I bring my packet over to show you? I'm sure I did. Yes, I did. Okay, so that's how we sell it, just like our dimensionals, and you get a packet of 6 of these. So where's my number? It's not normally a good idea to cut that so small. But if you just run it through, like that. Okay, so I'm going to keep those bits. I can use those as dimensionals, especially now those kind of thin bits would be ideal for trying to do the numbers on their own. And then that in the middle there. When you take it off, just remember to keep the paper on there. Okay, so that one in the middle there, that's a dimensional, so save that, you can use that. Let's move that. Now I just want to show you what you need to do. Oh no, we close this up, don't we? Okay, now the edges of this can get very sticky, which means once it's on your card it can attract dirt and dust. And rather than allowing that to happen, go over that with your embossing buddy. But as I say, make sure you still got your top and bottom piece of paper on it. Otherwise the powder will go on all over, and then just push that through the hole to make sure you get that bit done as well. So now that is ready to be used. Just put your gold, take that one off and put your gold on top. If you find that you have got the powder on there and it won't work, then just put put some Tombow on. Take your piece off, put some Tombow under there, throw that one away, and then stick that down like that. In the meantime, I'm going to cover that up. Okay, so that is the fourth method. Right, let's get back with our card. We've got that. We've got that. I'm going to just adhere all these layers together. I haven't put my stars back yet. And then onto the brushed metallic. Right, and I just want to put my stars in here, so I'm just going to put a little bit of glue in the spaces. I'm not trying to fill it right up. Let's get my 5 stars back here. So that's the biggest. Try and put it in the biggest place. There we go, is that one. Second biggest is this one up here. I think these are 3 same size. Now you may prefer to leave the stars out. I'm popping them in because you can actually see the edges of them, which makes it look almost like stitched. Not quite, but you know what I mean. Right, 2021. Lay them out first so that you know which way you're putting them. I've now got a pretty good idea where I want them to go after all the ones I've done. Oops, rather a lot of glue on that one, so let me blot that. I want this to come about here. Therefore these two are going to be spaced out. That may need a bit of encouragement to stay down because it is being stuck over the die cut there. And likewise with that one. That feels sticky. So there we go. I think that looks right. So now this just needs to be popped on the back. have been popped on the front of the card with glue on the back. I have to say that I do look at this note card quite differently now that I've been using it for a full card. So thank you for that, Linda, I appreciate that. Okay, so there's that one. Now, if I reach over for this one, okay, so that's exactly the same as that. Here's one I made earlier, true Blue Peter style. I've put that in that. Now this card here is your standard regular A6 card. I think America is A2. So whatever size you do your card, your layers, whatever. And then this is going on there. Now this one, I'm just going to put a black layer. Okay, so I did the white layer and I did the gold layer. Now I'm going to do a black one. And the size of this one is the size of what would normally be my middle layer. Normally I'd put a white one on top there. Okay, like that. So that the black one is what I call my middle layer, and the white one's the one that I call my top layer. If you ever see the sizes that I put on my blog, and I refer to middle layer and top layer. There we go. So what do you think about that one? So that's to go with that one. What you could do for this, you could make your own card base, 3.5 by 5 inches, and make it black to put that on top. Imagine that would look quite nice. Right, okay, so we've got time. I'm going to quickly move on to the other card, and the other card is the one that I showed on my blog this morning, which I'm really particularly pleased with, and that's this one here. So again, all the same card pieces on this one that I gave for that, except you need basic black for the balloons, whisper white for the balloons, and the ribbon. Again, nothing inside. So I've got all my pieces here. The ribbon that I've used for, it's not ribbon, it's black baker's twine. It is a Stampin' Up one, but it's a retired one. But we do have black and white baker's twine, which I think is part of a combo with the Pets, can't think what it's called, the one that's got the dogs and the cats with it. Okay, so I've done that bit. Whoops. Right, so first of all I need to do the stamping. Oh, this is probably why I did the setting up the die, the stamp rather, the way I did. Although why I didn't just move it along, I don't know. Oh, I know. This was set up here first of all, so I could do my tool cards, and then when I wanted to use this, I moved it along. Yeah, there's a reason for my madness. Hard to believe, I know, but there you go. You have it. Right, is that going to be... Let's move it down just a tad more. Right. The ink I'm using is black Memento. Oh no, you silly Billy. Just dropped the lid on one of my white layers. Good job that's got two sides. go, that's good. Right, the punch that I've used is the balloon bouquet, and did I not bring any scraps for myself over? It's alright, they're in reaching distance. What I did was I took like a sheet like this and I did the black ones first, and I approached from this side. Okay, so I did the first one and then moved it along like that so I didn't waste paper as it came across here. Okay, so there's that, and white I just did exactly the same but approached it from the other side. Oh, let's use this piece. Right, okay, so okay, and then as I move it along I'm only losing the bit that I've already punched out from. Okay, that's how I did that. That's rubbish, that's rubbish. Right, what I wanted to do on here, I've embossed the little white balloons under there. So I've already cut 5 of each here. I've already done my numbers as well. And they're all steps that you've seen me do on the other card, so I didn't feel that it was necessary to redo all of that. I think you'd much rather see 2 cards done rather than me repeating myself all the time. Right, the dies that I use, no, not the dies, the embossing folders. Oh, here we go. It's wrapped in texture embossing folder. Now I've done that one, so on this I'm going to use this one here. Okay, I do like experimenting. No, not you, you've done you. Right, that one. Now I'm not quite sure whether that needs to be straight or not, so let's move these out of the way. Let's bring this over, and these are regular embossing folders, so the plates that I need, which are here, this is the great thing about this machine, it tells you what you need. Embossing folders, using with standard embossing folders you need 1 and 2 number 3s, so I don't need number 2. Okay, so pop that there. And I'm going to do all 5 of these at the same time. Now where it's got stamping up, that's the front of the die. I don't know what this is going to look like on balloons, but you're going to find out at the same time as me. Okay, that's more or less straight. Right, pop that there. That there. Oops. So let's move this back out of the way, and I really think we've finished with this now. Oh, that's quite a nice pattern, yeah, I'm happy with that. Obviously the pattern's always got 2 sides, but I prefer the embossed side. So, where's my scissors? Here we go. That just looks a bit furry round there. Nope, they're fine. So my silicone mat, which I just sent over that side. So turn these wrong side up. Tombow. I try and put a little bit of glue onto the little sticky out bit of the balloon, the base of the balloon. Right. And then when I pop these on here, I do it so that you can just about see a little bit of the black underneath. Okay. That first one I did, the pattern isn't very straight at all. But it doesn't matter because these aren't going on the card straight. Some of them are tilted. In fact, having said that, it looks as if like 4 of them are straight and 1 isn't. So I guess what's happening to the one that isn't straight. Yep, it's going on the inside. Right, there we go. That's those. That's the one for the inside. So let's put our numbers on. This gives you, it shows you that it is perfectly okay to use the numbers without making them like little blocks that I did on the others. I don't do it all the time, it's just something that I think looks nice. But you've seen how many cards I've been making. Imagine how many times I've cranked the dies through my cut and emboss. Now this I'm just popping in the middle. So it looks like I'll be sending Happy New Year cards this year. That'll be a first for me. I think what I'll do with this one, when I put it inside, I'll, after the video, I'll find a star or something to put on there. In fact, having said that, we've got a star here. Let's put this on there. Okay, so that's the one for the inside of the card. Let's start putting everything together. Oh, I didn't even get that ready, did I? Could have done that. Oops, take the lid off. I've got a little bit of a lump there. Yep, that's good. Let's put this in here. There we go. That looks nice. Oh, you silly box set. You know what you're going to done. My card's going that way. Oh well, never mind. That's all right. I might do one the other side after the video, just to make it look as if it was meant to be like that. Right, here we go. Let's do those two in a moment. This one first. This goes on the black. Oh, this looks a bit bigger than it should have been. Never mind. Right, just putting the plain black background on this one, like the card that I've just done. I did think about embossing it, but decided against that. I think that's straight. Okay, so let's pop this one on. This one could be popped up on dimensionals if you like, but I'm going to put my balloons, pop my balloons up, so I don't want to have double height, I don't think. There we go. Now what I did find about putting the balloons on here was it... Have I lost a balloon? No. Oh, here it is. Right, okay. It's best to put just two dimensionals on, two large ones, and I tend to do one top and one bottom, and the reason is because you need them to overlap slightly, so they will all kind of support each other. And I tend to put the first one down and then follow through, rather than having this one on top and that one on top. I prefer them to be uniform. And again, you may want to layer these. I'll do number 2 first, I'm not going to do number 1 first. Should have checked that, shouldn't I? Okay, so they're going to be going something like that. And I want to leave a little bit of a space for the bow. That should be about right. Then that one is number 1, isn't it? So that's going to be going about there. So if I put that one there, that's about right. Take it over a little bit more. Just having a look to see what kind of gap I've got on that one. What's this, number 2? go, and hope that's about right. Yes, that's good. Obviously they don't have to be the same level. Balloons do have a mind of their own. Now what I have up here, I've only done 3, but I want to show you what I've done. So let's do these 3 first. And we'll do number 4. And you'll see there's a reason why I haven't done the dimensional underneath the end bit of the balloon. You could use glue dots for this. Glue dots aren't my favourite glue at all. I'll leave those there. So what I do is just do a quick bunny ears bow. And where's my ribbon scissors? There we go. Okay, so I just keep on pulling it until it's nice and small. Make sure it's pulled really tight. That looks as if it's about right. So I just pull those down a bit like that, cut that off, and then that's the other bit that I need, that bit that I've cut off. So let's pop that on there, because I glued that, didn't I? Put some glue there, yep. So just cut this off. The other one I felt that I pulled, I cut them off too tight. Cut them off too short. I don't know though, they look alright. I might go back and cut these shorter again. And then for the string, what I did was I just lifted this up so that I could get a little dab of Tombow in there. Oops, it's a bit bigger than I wanted, but never mind. And then a little bit down here as well. So then I can pop that bit in there. And then bring this round to dry on that. And then I used this to squash my baker's twine into the glue, and then I left that to dry. And then this one I cut off at the bottom. And this way you can put your string whichever direction you want to. Okay. I can't see. That's 1. 2. 3. There we go. Okay, so it doesn't help when you get glue on your fingers because everything gets stuck to you. Okay, so that's all in. No. Stay there. That's it. And then just decide how you want your string to go. Right, that one. You're getting a bit tired, aren't you, Tombo? Leave that one there. Let's have you coming round this way. And the bits that I'm putting here are really very little dots. The dots underneath the balloon there, that's quite a big dot. But once that's dry, it's not going to be seen. There we go. So there we go. There are quite a lot of New Year's cards. As I say, the reason I got the Let's Celebrate was because I'd lost the only stamp that I had. So let's see, there's that one. And this one. How much can you see in the screen? You see that and that. Let's show you one without the stars filled in. Oh, let's show you this one as well. Okay, so there we go. That's all the cards for today. Brilliant. Many thanks for joining me today. Hope you've enjoyed this project. And if you don't send Happy New Year's card, maybe you'd like to make it your first, like me this year. And let's hope 2021 is much, much better than 2020 has been. Been a tough old year this year. Anyway, many thanks for joining me today. If you have any comments to make, please leave them in the box below the video. I always like to read your feedback, and I will help you wherever I can. I will put the measurements for both sides cards in the box below, including the metric. If to open the box below, if you need to watch the video on YouTube first of all. If you're watching on a laptop or a PC or something, underneath the video you will see about 3 lines of writing, and then it says show more. So if you click on show more, then that will open up the box for you. If you're on a mobile or something like that, underneath the video you'll see a down arrow on this side, I believe it is. Trouble is, they do change this so frequently that it is difficult to keep up with it, but it's there somewhere. It'll be a little down arrow. If you've enjoyed watching my video and would like to be notified each time I upload a new one, please click on the subscribe button down there in the bottom right hand corner, and then click on the bell, and that'll make sure that you do get the notifications. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, please take care, stay safe, and happy crafting. Cheerio.